Let's go to the candy store where we can always get some more. Hey, what's that behind that door? It's Miss Lucille going. The Candy Store is on Tubi. It was written and directed by Bo Simmons and also directed by Will Gates, and is taking place in Chicago, where a bunch of kids have gone missing, and it seems like Miss Lucille and Homeboy the Clown, her son, at least that's the nickname he gets. I actually think that calling your kid Homeboy the Clown would necessitate him having to turn to the life that this particular character did, because that's just a cruel thing to do. And yeah, this well, they can't call it a candy shop because 50 Cent apparently has the, trademark on that. But yeah, for the last 30 or so years, children have gone missing. Nobody's bothered to investigate until two boys, Preston and Aaron, are talking about it endlessly while walking around endlessly. In fact, this movie features a lot of walking, more walking in the fucking book of Exodus at times. And then when one goes missing, the other decides, hey, I'm going to try to figure out what happened to my friend and solve this mystery before more people are history. The Candy Store Tales. Woohoo! Okay, so it's on Tubi, so you're going to get one of two, maybe possibly three categories. You're going to get something low budget but surprisingly good. You're going to get something okay. Or you're going to get something ultra cheap and schlocky. And unfortunately, this is in the last category. It obviously had next to no budget, and that's not a deal breaker. It obviously had a small cast and crew. That is not a deal breaker. But this idea that basically seems like an extended Tales from the Crypt episode, that's not enough. Tales from the Crypt was very good, and other anthology horror series have been very, very good and featured some great episodes, some decent episodes. And while there's a neat little central idea here with people going missing and the police not wanting to do their due diligence and investigate until it's obviously too late. The problem is that this film is endlessly padded. Endlessly fucking padded. So many alley walks, so much just walking around. The violence is okay, I guess. Everybody tries the best they can, but this isn't good. I'm sorry, it's not good. I'm not saying don't watch it. You might get some entertainment out of it. You can clearly tell that everybody tried the best they could, but really, I mean fucking really. And the ending made me think, how in the world was none of this solved 30 fucking years ago? With how easily everything is wrapped up, so to speak. But then there are questions as to, okay, is this mother and son, are they actually like just, pure evil, like down to their soul? Are they evil entities from another plane of existence? I don't expect a hand-holding explanation, but you could actually try to explain something, or you could just do what they did in the Candy Store, i.e., stumble around until you get to the end. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, spoilers, so there you go. So, the camera work was decent enough in the opening. Two guys end up getting killed by this, overall wearing clown guy. And then two kids, Preston and Aaron, are talking about what's going on. And by the way, the the overall wearing guy, Homeboy the Clown, ended up chopping up the guys. And this lady doesn't just serve candy and stuff. Where does she get all these supplies? Never mind. She has meat to put on the nachos. Gee, I wonder what the meat is. That's not explored. Never mind that. Let's go here. There was one guy that kind of looked like Bow Wow, to be perfectly honest. Bow Wow, like Mike, he ended up trying to steal from her, so she said, I'll tell you what, you do some chores for me, won't call the police aren't going to come around here, put this box up on this shelf. So he does, and they do this scene where she's like, does this eye thing. When he turns around, it's like she's a weeping angel from Doctor Who. That is pretty much that, and the TARDIS and Dalek is like the only Doctor Who references I know. They did that 4 times in a 45-second clip. Granted, some of the other stuff that they overuse and repeated a lot, I guess they could have done worse. But Aaron ended up, going to the shop one night and then ended up getting kidnapped, evidently, even though he paid for all his stuff. So, yeah, and the principal doesn't really, know what's going on. The principal can't really do anything because she's got a meeting. So Detective Cranberry, no, really, that's the fucking name they gave this guy. He's not nearly saucy enough for my liking. He's trying to investigate this. And again, low budget, I know, but in the principal scene, it's like the audio mixing was done in a shoebox. I mean, I'm sorry. No one really noticed that the overall wearing guy, I'm just going to call him that because it's funnier, it was creeping around the goddamn playground. And yes, there are scenes where he's painting the blood on his face and eating this stuff and eating the human flesh and whatever. The hide-and-seek shenanigans end up going tits up. Lucille basically tells Preston, no, he wasn't here. Why would you say he's here? I'm not lying. Why would you think I'm lying? I'm not, lying at all or shifting my mind. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not lying. Nothing's wrong. How has she gotten away with it all this time? I mean, is it just that everybody in the neighborhood are motherfucking idiots? Yes. She's a terrible liar. The detective is terrible at his job, by the way. The missing people on the wall and everything was, noticed by Rachel, who's, the only other character of substance they give, or only character they give any substance to. Her and Preston are going to go eventually investigate. Preston has his mother, Carla, that works double shifts, but eventually gets fired from her job for being late after a flat tire. There's a Ring camera in this. They show it. Maybe Ring asked for, or paid for some of the funding, or they were just hoping that they could get away with showing that stuff. Usually product placement, you have to make some kind of deal. I don't care. It's fine. So, it seems like some of the people know that Miss Lucille was actually bad. And Aaron's mom, used to live near her and, also the weird son. Endless walking scenes. My God, walking around endlessly. Stuff doesn't happen. Then when stuff does happen, I'm like, I'm so sorry I said that. Go back to the walking, please. So, yeah, Preston's mom gets fired from her job. None of this goes anywhere, by the way. These scenes just exist almost in their own universe. Preston and Rachel end up in the house. By the way, we have maybe less than 20 minutes before the end credits, or before the time runs out. Possessed Lucille, shows up again. Rachel gets killed, so that's kind of funny. The grandmother calls, talks to Carla. Carla's drinking because she's upset about losing her job. Which, yes, losing a job would be terrible. But by the way, we're at 10 minutes left. Rachel's dead. The detective shows up, instantly gets knocked out by the overall wearing fuck. Good job there, Detective Cranberry. And Preston is also trapped, but they quickly get out, and then the detective gets his gun, shoots Homeboy the Clown, and kills him. Except they shoot him a couple times, but then he's still possessed of doing this, but then, just falls down. And then grabs his leg and then dies. So I guess all it takes is 2 shoulder shots to kill him. But then Lucille ends up attacking Preston. Attacks the detective also. Well, actually, strike that, reverse it. Attacks the detective, then attacks Preston. The mother gets in, is trying to save her son. Isn't able to, but then Lucille gets shot. Okay. So all it took was 1, maybe 2 shots to kill this possessed lady that's been running this chop shop, and then nobody noticed the smell coming from. I'm sorry, if you have that much human flesh, I don't care if you scour that goddamn basement. You are going to have that dead body smell. Yes, the trash is taken out, that kind of stuff, but you don't think anybody would notice as far as the trash, but it's fine. I don't know why I'm looking for explanations. 6 months later, Carla and Preston are leaving. But Preston is still seeing possessed people like, oh my God, somebody already moved into Miss Lucille's house. And there's this girl running this lemonade stand that has the possessed white eyes. And I guess the house is possessed? I don't know, and I don't think anybody making the movie knew. Stuff just exists. I mean, you could pay attention to this. You could zone out on half of it and not miss shit, especially during the walking scenes. There was one drooling, guy that was all drugged up that said everything is not as sweet as it seems. There are elements of a movie here. It's not the worst thing I've seen this year by far. Not even fucking close. And low budget or not, it's still not very good. It gets an F. I'm sorry. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rutland. I'll see you soon.